the good story. Hey everybody!
You can repeat it. That noise. How did it go?
I don't know. We out here talking about hair. This is a hair talk stream now.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, welcome to missing hair. I don't know.
Missing follicles.
Although my hairline is receding a little bit. Every now and then I go to the barber. I tell them I like to take my bangs up pretty far, and every now and then I'll get someone who is like, "Oh no, sir, I the hairline it's receding. You don't want to take it up that far." And I'm like, "Take the bangs up."
I'm the barber now.
Yeah. Well, hello everyone out there in Streamland. I don't have the script that I usually have for this bit. No.
It makes me deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you would
correct.
even suggest that.
I do it every week.
This is Live from the Apocalypse, where we play tabletop role-playing games to benefit nonprofits, aid organizations, and other charitable causes. We just ask that if you like what you see here, and we do hope that you like what you see here, what other reason are you here for? That rather than subscribing or giving us bits or any of the Amazon, Jeff E.B. corporate script stuff, that you take that money and you donate it directly to the organization that we are fundraising for. This stream is part of our campaign that is raising money for the First Nations Development Institute, which is a nonprofit that works to restore economic independence to Indigenous communities. So, if at any point you would like to donate, you can type !donate in the chat. Our bot will post the link, and you can make the McElroy brothers shout at us and interrupt whatever very serious scene we were having at the time. It's happened before. It will happen again. We also have a variety of channel points you can use to unlock our emotes without subscribing, as well as to interact with and influence the stream in other ways. Also importantly, if you donate, you are adding little luck points up there, the little 2 that is next to the menu there. Uh-oh. What did I screw up? What did I do?
Just demonstrating the channel points.
Sorry. I see. But my anxiety.
I maybe picked a bad one.
Yeah, but so yes, you see the little 2 next to the menu there, right under my screen there. That's our luck points that the team collectively has at their disposal. And when you thanks, great, awesome.
Well, that one was directed at me.
And so if you donate, the team gets luck points, and I am not going to say one way or the other whether or not they're going to need to use them. But given where things were heading at the end of last session, I don't know. Draw your own conclusions. Am I effectively holding their PCs hostage for charity? I wouldn't phrase it exactly like that.
We don't usually use the word hostages, terrorists. Corporate.
What do you mean we don't usually use the word I feel like we use the word terrorist and terrorism a lot in this game in particular.
Several times about
we describe Estelle as an eco-terrorist constantly.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I called her like a corporate terrorist or something. You guys went, no, eco-terrorist.
Yeah. I literally opened last stream by declaring that my character was the only one who hadn't threatened a terrorism.
Well, speaking of, why don't we, starting from left to right here, why don't we introduce ourselves, what we do, and who we are playing tonight? Will, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, I could do that. Hello, my name is Will. I play Julian Rue, the X-Team Rocket member turned chef. That's him over there, and 2 of his Pokemon. Julian's had a big journey to end up where he is today, but I'm looking forward to this being the session where we finally kill Slender Man. When we are not doing that, when I'm not playing Julian, you can find me here on the channel doing other things. I run Class Reunion, which is the alternating game with this one. Come back next Tuesday for that. I'm playing in the Eldritch Lady Badasses of Wrestling, our Call of Cthulhu Wildcard Wednesday game. The second episode is tomorrow night, so come back and check that out. If you're so inclined, play a hot dad in the 80s. And I run and edit our Masks Actual Play podcast, Academy H, which is streaming now on its own channel. on all of your podcast platforms. So if you search Academy H, it'll pop up. You'll be able to find it. You can listen to it. And I think that is most of the stuff. Oh, this Friday I'll be at No Fame Podcast for the final episode of our Cyberpunk Red game, End City. You won't want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun, probably. I'm not running it, so I can't say for certain. But I'll have fun. And I think that's it for me.
Hi, I'm Heather. You might also know me as Bright on a couple of platforms, including TikTok, which I haven't been on for a minute. Sorry, everybody. Life things. But I also play Estelle East in this game, who is Estelle is the widow of the prior gym leader. Yeah, the gym leader. He passed away, and she is helping to save his legacy and also adopting all the other players, basically. She never had kids of her own. She adopts really creepy Pokemon and Pokemon trainers that I guess their parents just kick them out, like when, they're creepy messing with some Pokemon. Send them all up. So in addition to that, like I said, I'm getting back onto the TikTok and for running our channel. And I also am in Cryptid Community College. All the other games that I'm in right now have been on hiatus for the channel because we've got some DMs that are taking a break. But Cryptid Community College, the first entire season is out, and I believe it's on Spotify. Do we have it as C3 or do we have it as Cryptid Community College?
Cryptid Community College is on all the platforms, wherever you get your
All the
podcasts.
platforms. So if you are interested in that, I play Stan, just Stan. And yeah, we hunt monsters in a tiny town in the mountains. You get to hear me talk about having ADHD and anxiety and why it's not normal to just be okay with monsters in the woods. So yeah, go check that out. And that's about it for now.
That does come up in a significant number of the episodes.
It does.
Liz?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Liz. I'll be playing Billy Baker, our current gym leader, and just sweet little farm boy turned decent battler. He's kind of come into his own a little bit. Outside of this game, it's a list right now. I go from nothing to everything, it seems like. So Friday, I'll be on Tales from the Table Studios for their Days of Tales events. We'll be doing Eat Trash, Do Crime, where we all play a bunch of chaotic raccoons, getting into raccoon shenanigans. I'll be playing Diego, who's like a revolutionary raccoon with Charlie Day in like the Pepe Sylvia It's Always Sunny episode energy. So that should be fun. Then Sunday, we have the second episode of the Madigans, our like Dresden Files RPG, Knives Out, Patriarch is Dead, and the family's back together. Fun game where I'm playing Ravenna Wraith. And then next Wednesday, we'll be doing Transhumanism, which is a game that I am running for the week of Trans Day of Visibility. It'll be raising money for a very exclusive or a specific trans charity that is helping advocate for trans rights in the southern states. And that game's going to be very fun. It's going to be very cyberpunk. It's going to be very cathartic, and have a really great cast for that. And that's me.
And the one time that Brendan gets to go last.
Hello, yes, it is I, Gamemaster, Brendan, Architect of Misery and Befuddlement, I think is my official nom de jour on the channel. I don't do quite as many games as all that, but I do some. I do some game. When I am not running this here game, I also play Alex Sandowski, aka Victory, in the aforementioned Academy H, our Masks actual play podcast. And I was also the game master for the aforementioned Cryptid Community College, another one of our podcasts that is up in the conversation today because it is up under its own name now. We split our two podcasts out into their own separate podcasts, both Academy H and Cryptid Community College. Academy H is ongoing. Crypto Community College, all of Season 1 is wrapped and is up online if you want to go binge all of that stuff. It's full of the players running around hunting monsters in the woods, and me explaining what pepperoni rolls are.
I was listening to that episode early. You know,
It's
just
an ongoing battle.
you can call us Netflix because you can binge Crypto Community College and it probably won't go past season 2.
Ooh, dang.
Which is how you know it's good.
I know, right? Yeah. Ah, goodness. Well, where last we left off, we were in the Baker farmhouse. There seemed to be an epidemic of people disappearing across Esper Bay. In fact, it was beginning to feel like you guys might be the last people left. And with some help from Professor Maple, you were able to. Oh yes, and that's right. There was another crime done. More crime was done. A crime was done. You stole another thing from Silphco. Admittedly, this time was a little bit easier than some of the others because again, it seemed like literally nobody was there. You just kind of walked out with it.
Also, by the third time we break and enter and take stuff, like there's that, but also like at a certain point, when do they become responsible in this situation? We're not master criminals, so
it's really just miraculous, isn't that the third time? 4 times? How many times have we broken into Silphco, guys?
I think 3.
Oh, no.
I was going to say 3 or 4.
3.
4?
Yeah, you didn't take anything the first time. But yeah, the second 2 times you took things.
We usually take Pokemon.
The first time is just for fun.
The first time was just for the jollies.
It was just the espionage.
Mm-hmm. And after some arguing about who was going to go through the teleporter that had been rewired, with the aid of some dubious technical knowledge from the Pokenomicon to enter the Eldritch realm from which the missing numbers originate, and hopefully rescue some of the people that are in there. Somehow, there was a bit of a Benny Hill. Everybody trying to do the self-sacrifice at the same time. Everyone insisting that they were going to be the one to potentially sacrifice their life. And the winner of that particular lottery turned out to be young Master Billy.
Yeah, I totally remember that and was prepared for the fact that I ended the last session by just throwing myself into the void. That was definitely in my memory.
Right, yeah.
Us.
And the last thing that Billy saw as he dematerialized was looking past everyone, looking at him in the room, in the farmhouse, and seeing the silhouette of someone standing in the window, looking in. And that is where we pick up in the room, in the main foyer of the farmhouse, where everyone has just seen Billy walk into this heavily modified Silphco teleporter.
With one of my Pokemon, I did technically leave the others behind, if that becomes relevant. Unless you expected me to take all of them?
To know. I don't know.
You do you. .exe has stopped.
I don't know. You do you, boo. We'll figure it out. It'll probably be fine. It's fine.
I teleported into the portal, and I don't keep my Pokemon in Pokeballs, so I have Shiloh.
All right, cool. It's probably fine. It's
Not at
probably
all throwing off the balance of the battle.
it's probably maybe fine.
I mean to talk to you that if you want to let him just Mega Evolve for reasons, because it's like a void, feel free. There is Mega Gallade, so if that
hey,
comes up.
Phenomenal cosmic power.
Well, tell you what, we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Frantically flips through notes, looking at the stats of an encounter.
Fine.
But we're not there yet. We're still in the living room as everyone just kind of now just watched Billy dematerialize. It was kind of unsettling, honestly. Like it's not actually like there was like a flash of light or anything, or just kind of a pop, like he wasn't there anymore. No, you kind of just watched Billy seemingly just kind of dissolve. And Professor Maple assures you all that it's fine. That's supposed to happen. Admittedly, I've never seen it work before, but I'm told that I've seen the models. That's what it's supposed to look like from a purely optical standpoint. At least assuming that I got the Cronenberg coefficient right. But I'm solidly within the acceptable scientific margin of error.
I mean, I think Estelle's still just like on her knees where she fell after giving because I described her as just like, sort of this painful, exclamation as she sees Billy jump into the thing and outmaneuver her.
Is that supposed to be a left bit shift or a right bit shift?
Acceptable by whose standards?
The scientific community. The scientists.
Great.
The scientific community that it looks down on him and kind of exiled him. That scientific community.
For his crazy theories.
And maybe willingness to stretch the limits of the acceptable scientific margin.
This is not proper laboratory.
So
the scientists.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it, baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
Thank you so much for the donation,
Thank you.
Will's mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you, Karen.
Karen's the real MVP.
She is. Truth.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
We even accidentally named a character after her.
I didn't name the character after Will's mom. Her name was independently Karen.
Sure.
We can retcon that.
So you don't know where he is?
Well, I'm pretty confident in my calculations that wherever he and Gallade are going, it is essentially the Eldritch Zone, from which the missing numbers originate. The pocket of interstitial string space attached like a polyp on the outer reaches of our reality.
Okay. That's awful phrasing. But okay.
Well,
Are you scanning? We don't know if time's different there. We have to scan to make sure he's not trying to signal us to come back, right?
Yes. I believe that you should be able to pick up any extrasensory signals that Billy is sending. I think I'm leaving the machine partially energized. Should weaken the space between our reality and theirs, at least within the confines of the capsule. I wouldn't recommend sticking any extremities in there for the time being.
Well, that's not going to help us. Billy barely has common sense, much less extra sense.
He means our psychic abilities.
Right.
You've used them before, dear. It'll.
Listen, I'm a lot of things, but psychic ain't one of them.
Are you really not psychic? Do you have no psychic ability?
I have the weird residual psychic one where I get mad and my Pokemon get real strong, but I'm in denial about that.
Yeah, that doesn't count. It's not psychic abilities. That's just a weird us feeding off of each other's energies things. That's
totally
not
ESP. It happens.
It just happens. Yeah, you just get real mad and your Pokemon start glowing.
Yeah, it's odd. Okay, well, I guess I'll just start scanning, and like I guess I'm just gonna be using my ability. I don't know if you want me to make a series of rolls.
No, you're good to just to sort of start scanning. You're not picking up anything currently, though at the same time you're not exactly sure what that would feel like under the circumstances. You're kind of in uncharted waters as far as that goes.
So what are we supposed to do? Just pace, just like walk back and forth until he comes back, if he comes back.
Is that what you're doing in the background? Just like pacing back and forth 100%. And still sitting there? The alternative is to tell his mother.
Julian, sit down, please. Susan is standing in the corner, just sort of leaned against the wall, sipping on a mug of tea. His dad is in an overstuffed recliner, just kind of slowly rocking back and forth.
I think they know.
I didn't know they were in the room. I thought they had gone out of the room for some reason last episode.
No. The gang's all here.
Yeah.
I think they figured it out.
Estelle's just concentrating. She's like holding, Dottler in her lap and just like.
and Julian, like periodically as he's pacing back and forth, he'll stop and be like, "Do you feel anything? Do you feel anything? Do you feel anything?" What about now?
And it's about that time that the outer wall of the house explodes inward.
Oh,
no. With a massive crash, the wood and drywall and glass just all sprays inward as all of you duck and dive out of the way.
What is
the dust clearing? You see, stalking into the room, a large quadrupedal Pokemon with a massive shield for a face that has seemingly just been used as a battering ram to make an aggressive entrance.
I assume we're battling.
Yes.
Oh,
that's not what we're fighting.
No, that was left over from when you guys were in Silphco.
Yeah,
that's the last time they shut their babies at us.
I forgot that's what that did.
Yep.
I still hate it. What was this thing called?
So the thing that is right in front of you is a Bastiodon.
How fun. Okay.
Because, my Poke Brain database definitely went shield for a face and pulled up only one thing. And I'm like, are you throwing a legendary wolf at them?
Oh, no, not that. Although there is a Pokemon that you're not sure you've ever seen before. That is like it's glinting in the low light that is from the still flickering bulbs that have not been shattered, slinking in around the side of this thing, this long silvery shape that almost seems to kind of flow like liquid with each of its movements. And that is what is it called? The Melmetal.
Where is that? Oh, yeah. Okay. These are beefy friends. This is a crowded fight.
It is, and just to complete the whole picture, you've just had enough time to take these in and to pull yourselves up and to start ordering your Pokemon into action when another shape drops in from above to the other side of the Bastiodon. This hunched tightness thing, covered in sharp flint napped edges. And that would be a Cleavor.
Cleavor. There it is. Okay.
I super
Normal.
want the Bastiodon.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
he's adorable. I don't know what it is about that face, but I love it.
I know. I was gonna use him. I'm gonna use him, and I'm looking at this face, and it's like, but he doesn't look mean. He looks like he's just glad to be here. He's just having a good time.
He's just having a
having a good time. I mean, in this case, this specific Bastiodon is probably going to be trying to kill you. But like, I know, but he looks so dumb and adorable, and I love his little face. I feel bad that I don't have to kick his butt.
You know what it is? Do you know those bulldogs with like the underbites where they have like their teeth out, and you're just like, I don't know why, but you're just adorable, and like he looks a little bit like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I should probably get the die roller out. That seems like a thing that I should probably do.
I mean, only if you have to.
Yeah,
why would you want to make us
dice?
roll dice
I know.
for a game? I should also do that, actually.
We would only have to do that if we were going to fight something. So
yeah, I'm obviously going to adopt all of these children, and we're not going to fight anybody.
No, that's not what I need to do. Do that. There we go.
It's the wrong music, isn't it? Oops.
Right?
Yeah.
You gotta yell it.
No, I meant like you usually play the Pokemon.
During
our fights.
I actually stopped doing that because it got really annoying having to listen to it over and over again. I got different music now.
That's fair. Yeah, that's.
Oh, actually, I don't think I've heard the new music. What does the new music sound like?
More like actual music.
I have some like traumatic memories of the Savari Zone and trying to get a Pokemon. That battle music.
All right. Well, you're facing down 3 hostile Pokemon.
Sure.
What are you guys doing?
That's smush faces. Sorry. No.
Why is this happening?
We should probably roll initiative.
Yeah, probably, I guess.
And then I'll decide what to do, because then I'll know when I'm doing things.
Do my Pokemon that are left get to contribute, but don't have my rolls? So they just roll on their own?
Give them each a smooch. You know what? It's worked before. Let's do it.
I will Sure. That sounds good. Yeah. I'll say you can determine what your Pokemon are doing. They just will not benefit from Billy's trainer die.
Cool.
Okay. Into it. That sounds nice.
All right. So
I change that name? No, maybe not. Ooh, nice. I think you're
I have to do that now.
I also just assumed I'm going last because I don't have a tactics die to roll because they're.
You still get like a
Five.
D4, right?
Huh?
I would assume they just, because they don't have a trainer to direct them, it would make sense that they probably act
Last.
at the very end, if at all. Yeah.
Ooh.
Stop
That's
it.
fair.
No, this one is good. This
No.
one, believe it or not, this one is actually really good.
It better be.
I don't know why I keep rolling because they're going significantly.
Oh,
significantly
wait a
before
second.
everyone.
I think I understand.
No.
Conveniently 3 monsters. Is there anyone else in this room who might participate in a Pokemon battle?
Your mom.
Yeah, and Susan is going first, as it turns out. And yeah, okay. Right. That's what I want to do. Yep. Right out the gate, just like as you guys are still kind of pulling yourselves together and trying to figure out, like, and Julian is like, what? Why is this happening? You just hear Susan yell, "Oh hell no, Sarge, close combat."
Nice. Some point in my TTRPG career, I am actually going to start writing down what the plan is, so that when we have first contact with the enemy, I remember the plan.
But we didn't even have time to make a plan.
I really feel like that's what it is I don't have notes to refer to about what the plan is, and my ADHD brain kicks in and goes, this seems like the thing to do right now.
That's why like
Our
games
plan
let
was
you
smooches.
retroactively declare that was always the plan.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Force in the Dark games. It's like, no, this was the plan the whole time. We never said it out loud, but it was always the plan.
Yeah.
We have, previous to this, had many discussions about tactics, and this is obviously what our plan was.
Yeah.
And therefore,
for
It's all
sure.
in that missing episode. You just
Right.
you
Yes.
have to amend it.
The episode that the missing numbers ate.
When in doubt, let Susan destroy them.
Yeah. Well, as Sarge, the Galarian Farfetch'd, just leaps across the room, fully over Julian and Estelle's heads, and begins to start attacking the Cleavor with its giant leak. The Cleavor is fighting back with its flint-napped axe hands, which you would think would make quick work of a leak, but shockingly, no. Every time that it scrapes against this leak, it sounds like the leak is made of steel. And then also, as it is doing this, it looks as though Sarge is sort of finding its rhythm. Its moves are getting more sure of themselves, and its parries are more quick to respond. Unfortunately, it's now their turn.
No.
Maybe I should have rolled a 23.
Right? Yeah. Did you think of that? Did you think of did you consider just rolling good?
I mean, I did that one
No.
time with the D4, but never again. Oh, okay. That's all right. I like that one. We should get more of those.
Mm-hmm.
For you. Just for you, not for me.
Just for me.
Just for you.
The Cleavor, as it is fighting with Sarge, manages to get some distance and backs up, and striking its two axe hands together, Lee unleashes this shower of sparks onto the room, and you all sort of shield your eyes from it momentarily. And when you open them, you have not taken any damage, but you can see glinting in the flickering bulbs these tiny sharpened pieces of obsidian almost dotting the room and even hovering in the air. You feel like you probably shouldn't breathe them in any of these difficult to see stones. These stealthy rocks, if you will.
Secret rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
Oh, that's the next one.
Yep.
There's so many.
Stop it. Jesus Christ.
12.
We don't even have any
don't like
Pokemon.
That one. I don't like it. This is why you shouldn't have your Pokemon in balls. You should just let them wander around so that they can immediately attack people.
Yep.
It's fine. You've got 3 luck. It's fine. It's fine.
I might need that. Don't put too much of that. I've only brought the 1.
The eyes and the sort of the false windows in the Bastiodon shield glow with light, and the shape of its turreted skull almost kind of projects outward in front of it and the 2 Pokemon to either side of it, in this sort of luminous screen that seems to be providing with some sort of shielding.
A screen of light.
A screen of light, if you will. If one were to go so far.
Yeah.
Cheating. Can't just shield things.
Actually, no, I don't need that. There we go.
I think you're going next, Julian. Oh no.
I got a 5. What did you get?
I got a 5. You got a 7.
No. The other trainer had a 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going at the same time then.
The other trainer.
You didn't say anything about a trainer. You just said there were 3 Pokemon that burst through the wall and started fighting us.
I know, it's crazy. Oh no!
Kill that dog.
Oh no, that's so many dogs.
It's just 1 dog.
Oh, that's right. That is just the 1 dog.
Thank you for the subscription.
So thank you so much for the subscription. We do appreciate it, even though that poor dog had to die. It's really unfortunate.
No, he's died.
Right.
In the making of this subscription.
Listen, the goalpost has moved so far at this point in our streaming career.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's not 14? All right.
That's fine. But thank you. We do appreciate it.
We really do.
You see the metal's shiny surface sort of get washed over in this oil slick finish that sort of scintillates with every color of the rainbow. And with that, it is so either Estelle or Julian. You guys can choose.
Okay. Julian will look at Susan, if I have time, and just say, what is happening?
Someone's attacking us, dummy.
Okay, fine. You don't have to be mean about it. And he will take out a Pokeball and he will throw it. He will say, Brunoise, let's go. And after his Meldarvin variant Golduck pops out of it, he is gonna... Oh, God. I don't know. Are these real Pokemon? I'm only asking because, like, Yeah, are they real?
They appear to be real. And actually, in fact, give me a tactics roll.
I was gonna say what I mean is, would Julian be able to know something about their typing and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me a tactics roll.
All right. It's a 6.
All right. So nice. I will say, as far as typing goes, the liquid metal one, and the flint napped one, you're not familiar with. You've never seen them before. The one in the middle, though, the large shield faced one, you are clicking in now that yes, okay, you are familiar with this one. It's fairly rare, but you have seen examples of it in the history museum that there is here, and also just because there are a lot of seaside fossils in the Esper Bay region. This is some sort of a revived fossil Pokemon that you believe is I think it's a ground steel.
Okay.
I believe it's rock steel. My apologies.
Rock steel. Okay, cool.
Rock steel.
All right.
The other earthy one.
Yeah, I mean, geez, Brendan.
I know.
Can't believe you get ground and rock mixed up.
Clearly needed to be distinct typing because they're so radically different.
Especially with given all of those rock types that don't also have a secondary ground typing.
Yeah. Julian is gonna.
And actually, before the other follow-up is going to have with your tactics roll is that looking around and trying to study them and figure out what their deal is. And with Susan telling you that you're under attack, this is sort of finally starting to you're starting to key in that there is another sort of agency at work here, and peering into the darkness outside of the farmhouse, standing in sort of the swaying corn stalks, you see just a tiny red light, like an LED on someone's headset.
Okay. That seems normal. Julian is not the type of person to worry about headsets, but he is the type of person to shove his hand forward and say, "Boss, get him out of here. Water gun.
Get him."
Yeah. So we're going to try to blow that large gentleman back out of here with a water gun.
Okay. And so a water gun is a special move, correct?
I don't know what that means.
Well, let me see.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I think so, because it's not physical.
Yeah, it's a special attack based.
All right, cool. So
I don't remember which one light screen stops.
It is special.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So at this point, it would cancel out the type advantage bonus.
Okay, so just a straight roll.
Straight roll, yeah.
Okay.
Reflect is physical, light screen is special.
Right. Okay, that is an 11.
Okay, well that does hit, and that does crit.
So I think we're gonna go. If I want to physically blow him out of the house, would that be a use of the crit, or would I just say that's an expression of doing 2 wounds?
I will say that is up to you.
Okay.
I will say. So you can push the Bastiodon backward out of the house. Whether or not you would like to have that be use your crit to do that, or whether you would like to have that be an expression of inflicting 2 wounds, that I will leave up to you.
I think we're gonna put the uwu in 2 wounds.
Okay.
And go with that.
Okay.
So this giant blast of water shoots out from Brunoise's beak and hits this thing right in its head. And I imagine it tries to take it because it seems not very intelligent. And it just cannot handle the pure hydraulic force, gets blown ass over tea kettle out of the house.
Yep.
And Julian will yell, "And stay out."
Indeed. And then you do notice then that as Brunoise does that and strikes a triumphant pose, that it does sort of stagger momentarily. And you realize that as Brunoise is dabbing, that it has been stuck in several places with these tiny flint-like shards. Brunoise's toughness has been reduced by 1.
How dare you? What?
Yeah, I know.
That's illegal. That does feel illegal. Toughness. Okay. Shit. Okay. Well, that's my turn, I guess, because I attacked.
Okay. Still, it's on you.
So are we just using one Pokemon, or are we allowed to just like attack with all of our Pokemon?
That's a good question. He didn't sign the guest book.
Yeah. Because
So
this is not an official Pokeball.
Yeah, it's not a regulation match.
It's true. It's true. He's just coming right at you with 3 Pokemon.
I know.
Honestly, the only reason it wasn't more was because I didn't think that more than 3 would fit on the screen.
Yeah.
You are correct in that assessment.
Yep.
I asked this question because you have additional Pokemon you could attack with it if that is the case. So.
Oh, that is true. I think I honestly like the idea that Julian wouldn't even think of that. It would be something that Estelle thinks of. Like Estelle would be the one who's like, this isn't a gym battle. Use all your Pokemon.
Child, we could just beat them. You should know this though, because
of all people, the former Team Rocket grunt doesn't think of this. Yeah, Estelle randomly is just like, Julian, just take the boots to them.
Use all your Pokemon.
Julian,
what are you
medium
doing?
Style.
Yes.
I'm noticing that thing that happens. It's not the thing that's happening with Julian that happens with characters in sitcoms sometimes, where they just get progressively dumber the longer the show is on the air.
I think you are using so much mental power for your worry of Billy that you are just like, oh God, how am I going to keep these fragile people I now care about alive?
Exactly.
Yeah, so
I just like to think it's Billy's influence.
It's
the
spreading.
No Thoughts Head Empty is just contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I am going to call Mr. Mime. We're gonna hit him with Psychic, I believe. Yeah, which has a chance of creating confusion. And I'm going to use.
Okay. So which Pokemon are you targeting?
I am targeting.
So at this point, there's the Cleavor and the Melmetal that are still up in front of you and threatening you. There is the Bastiodon that has already been hit, but that Bastiodon has been pushed back out of the room and is not immediately threatening you.
Let's go with the. Let's go with the Cleavor. Why not?
Okay.
And we're gonna use, which I don't like it, but it's what we got. Oh, so we've got an 11 to hit.
Sounds right.
Yep. And then
which is a crit.
Yep, that will hit and crit.
Cool. Extra damage. And then we're gonna do Haunter. Same target. Dark Pulse. Oh, that's wrong. Pick that up. Boop, boop. Boop. And go. So that's one of those is a crit. So I'll roll that again. So, yep. That is a 23, I think. Yeah.
All right. Well, yes. So both of those hit and crit.
Yes. So, I am gonna. So those both hit. Basically, what happens is Estelle, the wall busts in, the whole battle begins, and she stands up, puts aside Billy's Pokemon that she was sort of like, kind of like sheltering because it was, connection to Billy. She feels like she's just lost. And she just turns to Mr. Mime, makes eye contact, and he immediately just hits out with a psychic wave, and on the back of it comes Haunter with the Dark Pulse. So it's like you get this burst of psychic energy that shoves them back, and then on the, like, before you can open your eyes back and recover and hit again, Dark Pulse comes with that weird purple pinkish light that's edged in darkness and just slams into the Cleavor. And then we got
so and this double whammy knocks the Cleavor for a loop, and just this combination bright light from the psychic and this equally all-consuming darkness from the Haunter, that when your eyes recover and all the visual artifacts are cleared from them, the Cleavor is visibly fainted.
Cool.
And it is being recalled back into a Pokeball, again originating somewhere out in the field outside of the house.
Cool, because what I'm going to do with Dottler is utilize Future Sight, and since we've indicated that that's like a foreseeing thing, what I'm going to ask Dottler is find the trainer, and like Dottler's just going to start to like their eyes are going to start to glow, and then the rest of them's going to start to glow as they try to use Future Sight to locate where this mystery trainer is and who they are. Boop.
Hell yeah.
So that's 6, which is not great. It's what we got.
But yeah, so you are following the pattern of Dottler's light. You sort of follow them, and you kind of also zero in on this trainer that is standing out in the field wearing a headset. And you actually can make out details, maybe because of Dottler's additional psychic boosting, maybe because you've seen them before. It is the trainer from the hospital.
The one that the Jinx communicated to me.
The one that tried to do you an electroshock with the Toxicroaks, and that had the Jinx trap Julian and Billy in dreams, and eat said dreams.
Fuck that guy.
And the one who abused the Jinx. Yes.
Yes. And actually,
cool.
As an additional element, so with the Future Sight element, you actually can sort of already see a sort of a premonition of a blur of motion as he reaches for another Pokeball behind his back. You know that with the Cleavor being fainted, that he has at least one more that he is definitely going to send out as reinforcements. He has not done so yet, but you know it's coming.
I'm going to say to everybody, just the trainer's outside, and they have more Pokemon. We need to stop them. And then next round, I'm going to go after them. So,
okay.
Continue.
Well, all right. So, Billy, do you want to roll for your Pokemans?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Ling Ling and Aster are the ones that are still there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if it stresses you out slightly less, I do think I actually technically have 2. I didn't think about it at the time, and I actually don't think canonically Billy thought about it. But Tum Tum's been riding on his shoulders the entire time. So when he teleported in with Shiloh, Tum Tum probably just rode along.
All right. Yep.
But yeah, I think I don't even think Ling Ling is going to do anything yet, but I think Aster is just going to charge in and kind of take the lead and try and do a Horn Leech on the well, the Bastiodon's out of the room, so it's just a Melmetal.
Okay, so you're gonna roll on the Melmetal.
Yeah, so that's a
okay.
D8.
All right. The toughness that you're going to be trying to beat for the Melmetal is going to be 7.
Okay, with a D8, this should be. Let's see if I get any pluses.
We lost a head there.
Melmetal is just steel, right?
Just flat steel, yeah.
Which grass is not very effective against?
Yes, that is correct.
That seems odd, but okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. You think about like trying to razor leaf a tank or something. That's how I usually think about it.
I mean, I don't know. I try really hard not to apply too much logic to like Pokemon types.
I can't not.
I mean, like the infamous, very obvious fairy dragon. Where have you ever tried to uwu a dragon? It's so effective,
right?
Yeah, that's a 4. That ain't cutting it.
Yeah, no. Aster does their best. Runs up to the Melmetal, who attempts to hit them with a Horn Leech, but just hitting against this liquid metal coating that has been reinforced with this acidic sheen. The form of it just sort of like bends inward, and then like elastic launches Aster back out again. All right, actually, on that note, sort of this break between rounds, and while we're waiting to see if Heather's going to come back, I'm going to run and get some water. Do you want to take a quick 5-er?
Yeah, we can take a quick 5-er. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
All right. Okay. And we are all back. Welcome. And so, starting off the next round.
I just feel like it's been a really long time since you rolled under a 5.
Look,
I mean, this is on our side technically, right?
Well, no. This was the D12 for the other trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind.
Although I'm just saying this is your dice roller, Malchus.
I didn't code it. I'm just saying.
All right, what'd you guys get?
Oh,
oh, right. We have to
we're
do
supposed
that
to
again.
do the thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You go first.
Okay.
Ooh.
7. Nope, that's a 1.
Oh, I know it does sort of look like a 7 on top.
Yeah.
And a 2.
Yay.
And you had a what, like a 20 or something crazy?
Yeah, you roll a 35.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Susan.
Oh,
Okay, well,
Great.
not as good as last time, but
Great.
we're screwed.
Still haven't rolled under a 5. Just pointing that out. Susan got a 5.
Super excited.
all right. So
Yeah, this is great.
Could be great.
And I think they're going to roll these.
There's a 4. One of those.
And in this case, you see the Melmetal actually once again not directly attacking you, but instead actually once again sort of gathering its energy, and its outer coating once again takes on an another layer of this iridescent, acidic, oily sheen. And then the trainer is going to be foregoing sending out its other Pokemon this round in favor of having the Bastiodon re-enter the room and also act.
Okay.
And Bastiodon coming back, charging back into the room. Its eyes and the turrets of its I was about to say its Castilian face, but that actually has a different connotation. Castle-like. There we go. Its castle-like face, glowing.
Oh, it is a castle. That's cute.
Yeah, it is. It's a little castle buddy. I know. I don't have one. I don't have one in any of my Pokemon games, but I want one now because it's like a castle dinosaur.
I have never seen either of these Pokemon before, or like none of these three.
So that's the reason why I said that Julian was not familiar with either Melmetal or Kleavor, is because both of those are actually quite new.
Gotcha.
Those are like new within like the last 18 months to 2 years maybe.
Melmetal, I know I got a lot of in Pokemon Go, but that was for like a special event.
It was the promo. Melmetal was introduced in Sun and Moon.
Okay, I played that
as a promo with Pokemon Go though, so you had to like get it later, I think, or maybe it was Let's Go Pikachu EV. I don't. It was sometime around that time frame.
Yeah, and then Kleavor only showed up in Legends Arceus. So Bastiodon is actually the only one that has been around for like long enough that I think that Julian might know what this Pokemon is, as opposed to these other two nonsense Pokemon. But the Bastiodon charges in, and with this burst of metallic white energy, blasts Brunoise backward for 4 wounds.
On who?
On Brunoise.
4?
4.
The number 4?
The number 4, yes.
What the fuck?
Well, its base attack that it does, Metal Burst, inflicts 1.5 times the damage that it received previously. Took 2 wounds from Brunoise, so 1.5 times 2 is 3, and then it also crit.
Wow.
For a total of 4 wounds.
Brunoise has fainted. I hope you're happy. Hope you're pleased with yourself.
How dare.
Yeah. Oh, I do also want to mention that for Estelle, that both Mr. Mime and Haunter also appear to have been pierced by these clusters of flint that are littering the floor and clouding the air, reducing each of their toughnesses by 1.
No.
I agree with Heather.
No.
All right, so that is that trainer's turn. So then it is going to be Susan telling Sarge to get in there, duck.
Duck him up.
Duck him up.
Duck him up.
That's actually not correct. There we go. And that is a 2d10. There we go. 2d10, baby. Nice. Nice.
All right, Susan.
As Sarge leaps into combat with the Bastiodon and stopping to gather himself for a moment, taking a deep breath, and with a mighty quacking ki, uses Brick Break, which both knocks the Bastiodon back out of the room, causing it to faint. And also you see this shattering of the light screen, its individual pieces sort of flying off in these luminous shards into the night. So the Bastiodon is fainted, and also the effects of light screen have been removed.
Great. That'll make it much more effective the next time Brunoise uses water gun in this fight. Estelle goes before Julian, so if they're done,
yes,
then
cool.
Estelle.
Cool. So we're gonna do a leech life on. So Cleavor is down.
Yeah, Cleavor is down. The Bastiodon is also down.
And the
so right now it's just the Melmetal. You do know that the other trainer does have at least one more Pokemon he's going to send out, but he has not done so yet.
So we're gonna do Leech Life. Can I bestow Leech Life, or does it only work to take energy for Dottler?
And only for Dottler.
Well, then instead, we're gonna Struggle Bug with Dottler. Let's do gates. Hold on.
Struggle that bug.
Struggle that bug. Hits all opponents.
Strug the bug.
Hell yeah.
All right. So you will be -2 on the roll as steel resists bug.
Yep.
And your target toughness for this roll is 9.
Okay. So that is 9. So it matches. Is meets beats or no?
Yes. Well, so is that a 9 with the -2?
Yeah, because it's 11.
Okay. Yes. 11 -2 is 9. Yeah. So so meets beats.
Cool. So Struggle Bug will hit, and then we're gonna hit Mr. Mime with Psychic. Again. That's a 6. And then right behind him is going to be Haunter with Dark Pulse, which is an 8. Not as good as last time, but here we are.
Yep. So yeah. So you want to describe how Struggle Bug looks?
So Struggle Bug, as we've stated, is sort of just Dottler kind of rising up in the air a little bit and starting to almost like do this shaky dance that kind of waves out destruction and hits its enemies. And then hitting in with Psychic again in that double wave, Mr. Mime and Dark Pulse from Haunter. They're just going as fast as they can and all out because they just saw one of their buddies go down.
Yeah, they have surrounded the Melmetal at this point, and the Dottler Struggle Bug manages to get in a clean shot, and you actually see the Melmetal sort of stagger backwards, its body flowing over itself in an attempt to reform and regain its footing. And Mr. Mime and Haunter try to take advantage of its distraction, but each of their moves are deftly countered by one of the Melmetal's arms.
Who next?
And is Julian.
Julian is upset. Julian is angry. So Julian is going to take his 3 remaining Pokeballs, and he's going to say, "That's it. Let's finish this." And is going to send out Yaki and Chance and Franz. And we're just gonna go all out on this. So I need to have my Pokemon view open for this. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Yaki is gonna light up the Meltang, is that what it is?
Melmetal.
Melmetal, right. So Flamethrower from Yaki. Do you want me to roll these one at a time?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
All right, no problem. Here comes the Flamethrower. Hell yeah. Avenge your fallen brother. That is a 20.
22, right? Because fire and steel?
22,
Yeah, so 22. So, I'm trying to think. So that was normally supposed to. Okay, that will also succeed in critting. It's only it's a 22 is only a single crit, but it does succeed in critting.
I'm sorry.
I had to do the math in my head to make sure that was still a crit with its enhanced toughness.
What is it? Okay, all right. You know what? That's like at least an 8 for toughness then.
Yeah, no, I've said a couple times the toughness for the Melmetal is the target number was 7, then it used acid armor again, it went back up to 9.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the target toughness for the Melmetal is 9.
Okay. All right. Fair. All right. Well, then we are just gonna full on flamethrower this thing. And Julian is gonna say, Yaki, make that thing live up to its name.
Yeah. To tell us how it looks. Yaki burning this guy down.
Yeah. Yaki just like draws in a very deep breath and then holds the little wand up in front and just breathes out a huge gout of flame directly onto this thing.
You see it put up its arms to try and weather it, and you can see its liquid metal surface bubbling from the heat, glowing orange, like it's in a forge. And at last, after the gout of fire has ceased, there is a great cloud of steam that sort of fills the room, and the softly glowing Melmetal gets to its feet, pulling its literally molten body back together. It is not in the best shape. You can see there are sections of it where its surface has been covered in this oxidation from the fire that is inhibiting its ability to flow properly. And its arms are both blackened on the front where it was shielding itself from the flamethrower, but it is still standing and still fighting.
Okay. Fair. All right. And then I think this works. So Julian is then gonna just tell Franz, knock that thing out, and point to the castle Pokemon.
The castle one's actually already out.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Okay. I would have taken it off the thing. There we go. All right, cool. Okay. Well, shit, that makes this harder because Franz doesn't have a lot of stuff that would be good against this thing. But
if you hit hard enough, it doesn't.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Okay. I think we're just gonna go with a psychic. It's straight steel, right?
It is just straight steel.
Okay, we're gonna go psychic because his other attack move is ice punch, and that would be weak.
I think technically a psychic is also weak
against steel.
Against steel, steel is resistant to. It's kind of like steel's main thing is that it takes resistant damage to like everything.
Right. Well, then we're going ice punch anyway because the die is higher. So
okay,
ice punch.
It's like fire
and ice.
And I thought it was like ground or something weird like that you never use. So
it's fire, fighting, and ground are the only things that are super effective against steel.
Yeah.
Well, with the -2, that's a 1. So.
Yep. Alas, unless you want to use a luck point.
Makes no sense. Who punches?
I think I do. I want to avenge Brunoise. Let's see if we can do any better.
Avenge him.
I don't even know why I bother. With the -2, that's a 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Alas, going in for Frizzetti jumping into battle with Ice Punch, trying to land this furious combination of Sub-Zero blows, but the fluid body of the creature just makes it too fast. Just every time that Frizzetti thinks that it has an opening, the Melmetal's already there with a block.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess it's Ling Ling and Aster.
You got this.
Yep. None of y'all are Pokemon are hurt, right? Except for like Brunois being knocked out.
Shit, I forgot. Sorry. I also have Chance.
Yeah. Well, so let's have Ling and Aster go, and then you can use Chance.
That's fine.
Are any of y'all's Pokemon hurt?
Brunois.
I can't heal
Well,
fainted Pokemon.
Well,
okay.
You asked.
I think then Ling is still just kind of swaying around, but Aster is having kind of bounced off one before, is now going to try a bulldoze and try and like slam the ground.
Okay.
That is a D. Actually, that is in no move in Aster's repertoire without Billy's help can hit this thing. I guess I can try and
if you can ace.
Yeah, okay, so yeah. Aster's gonna try for bulldoze and hope for a 6. Nope.
Alas, no. Aster stomps the ground trying to leverage its ground move against the steel type, but the ground shakes under it, but it doesn't fall. It is able to adjust its body and its flow to just sort of deftly weave itself around the shaking ground. And then and Ling Ling isn't doing anything because it's mostly support.
Yeah, it's mostly support, and like it has psychic and normal moves that are offensive, so we're not even gonna bother at this point with that.
All right, well then Chance.
Chance can try. Chance is not very good. Chance is not a support type, but kind of a one-trick pony. But in this particular case, we're just going to try using Ancient Power, I think.
Okay.
So, see how that goes. I swear to God. I swear to God. That's a 0. Or no, sorry, that's 2. I'm not at disadvantage, but still not a success.
Yeah. Unless you want to use a luck point.
I mean, there's only 2 left, and Billy's going to have to.
People can always donate. People can always donate. You know,
That's
hey,
true.
if you want to help your buddies out of a jam here, we're raising money for a great cause.
We sure are.
Man, I'm just saying we haven't even gotten to what hell Billy has found himself in.
I think that's the turn, probably.
Okay.
Dice rollers are stupid.
We doing our tactics?
Oh yeah, we all gotta do advantage or not advantage, initiative again.
Yep.
Ooh, 2.
Also 2.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it and rip it, baby. Slop that down, dude.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
thank you.
For the big boy.
Thank you. Wow, thank you for the very generous donation, Anonymous.
Anonymous donor.
If it was intended to be anonymous, then we will not, shout you out or anything. But if you would like to be shouted out, let us know, and we'll shout you out for your generous donation.
Stop it.
I don't know. I clicked the button. I clicked the button on the website.
My God.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it and rip it, baby. Slop that down, dude.
Okay, again. All right. Well, thank you again very much, Anonymous. I don't know if it's the same.
So
Anonymous.
Billy doesn't die.
I don't know if it's the same anonymous person. If there's if you would like to be shouted out, we will be happy to shout you out. If you'd rather remain anonymous, that's also fine. Either way, I am sure that they all thank you. Thank you very much for the luck points you have bestowed upon them. And they may need them as the trainer out in the field. So you can kind of see him in your mind's eye. That premonition you had of sending out another Pokemon is coming true as he reaches behind him and sends out a Pokeball that unleashes this blurry, wrapped figure. Smaller than the others, insectoid, but it appears to move with a great deal of celerity. And that is the Excelgor. Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The fast ninja bug.
Yeah.
Fast ninja bug. Did you send me that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fast ninja bug. Fast ninja bug. Where he at?
Not seeing it. I may have to.
Oh wait. Oh no, actually, no. You were hella correct. I did not.
Then, I guess he can't use it. I guess he doesn't actually have it after all.
Uh-huh. Come on. There we go.
All right. 4 luck points going into battles. Probably good. You got Pika Red also.
Mm-hmm.
Pika. I feel like there has to be a better Pikachu.
There we go.
Fire-related Pikachu pun. All right. I'll get this loaded up.
My apologies. I thought I had included that, but apparently not.
Apology accepted. Fast ninja bug incoming.
Fast ninja bug arriving. All right. Fast ninja bug has joined the chat. He's doing a thing.
Doing awesome things.
Okay. Nope. Never mind. That does Ace.
And for the most part, you just see the Excelgor sort of zipping around the battlefield that has been made of the Baker home. It's not attacking you, but it's very hard for you to get a bead on it. Like every time that you think that you have it zeroed in, have it nailed down, no, you're wrong. That was it was a shadow or an after image. And then the Melmetal is going. And
oh shit! I didn't see the 10.
Mm-hmm. And you see electricity arc over its surface. Static fills the air, and you have this sort of hum in your ears as it almost kind of forms this spherical shape with its body, this massive Tesla coil that fires out electricity in all directions, inflicting a wound on every Pokemon in the battle.
I don't like it.
Billy, to answer your early question,
no.
Yes.
And
my Pokemon are hurt.
A second wound to Yaki.
Why?
No. I don't like it.
Because it got a crit, and Yaki was the one that attacked it last.
It's so unnecessary.
No. Don't.
I hate this thing. Yes.
Well, no, unfortunately,
Was that Susan?
That was Susan. I'm sorry. I mean, if you would like, I could spend a luck point for Susan.
No.
No.
No, we will keep those.
No. Okay. Well, yep. As Sarge tries to dive in at the Melmetal with an almost like suicidally brave move that you would be almost certain would be as likely to injure him as it was the Melmetal, but apparently just desperate to be able to end this and to be able to make an appreciable dent in this thing. This brave bird has charged the Melmetal and unfortunately missed as the Melmetal again changes shape to literally just expand out that empty space in its center, making a bolt loop that Sarge just dives directly through and lands in the front yard, carving a trench through the grass. And now it's going to be either Julian or Estelle, your choice.
Go ahead.
Okay. Julian is getting angry. And we all know what happens when Julian gets angry.
He punches old men.
He does.
He
And
makes
maybe there is an old man out there waiting to be punched. Okay. I just need to check this real quick. All right, cool. Okay, cool. So Julian starts to he's getting heated and he starts to radiate that same red aura all over his body that flares up psychically with his temper. And as he does so, I think up till now, we've only ever seen that aura between him and Brunoise, but now it is between him and Yaki. And he is going to just say, Yaki, whatever it takes, we're ending this now. And then he's going to yell flamethrower, and Yaki is just going to fill the place with fire as much as possible. So it's automatically considered a hit. I have to roll to see exactly what happens. I do get to have an additional narrative effect appropriate to the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I would think I would like that to be multiple targets. I would like to hit both of these things if possible.
Yeah, no, I think that works.
Okay, cool. And they are both weak to fire, right? Bug and steel?
Yep.
Cool.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. So that is a 20.
Cool. All right, cool. So that will crit. Yes, that will crit against the Melmetal, and I believe that will double crit against the Excelgor.
So it hits. It does one hit automatically.
Okay.
So if I crit, then I'm doing 3 wounds potentially.
Okay.
To Melmetal, and then potentially 4 wounds to the bug, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that works out.
Okay, great. So that is what's happening. We're just going for straight damage here, as much fire as possible to take out Ninja Bug and Metal Guy.
All right, so that was how many wounds to each?
So 3 to the steel type and 4 to the bug type.
All right. And so tell me how this looks.
So I think if the bug and the steel type are standing in the door still in the opening that they created when they busted the wall down, then Yaki is just spewing fire out into the night air across the Baker farm. And I think it is probably going to be powerful enough and extend far enough that the guy who's standing out there in the darkness might even have to dive to the side. And it would be pretty cash money if, in the light of that fire, I could get a look at him. But, guess that's really up to you. And I think as the fire dies down, ideally, all we see are the, charred bodies of these two Pokemon with the swirly eyes that let you know they're not actually dead. Because Pokemon can't die, as we all know.
Yeah. I am just checking one
not in the battle.
thing.
True immortals. Yeah, right. Not in a battle. Yeah.
They follow Final Fantasy character roles. Cutscenes, very vulnerable. In a battle, they'll get better.
Yeah. So it goes.
Okay, cool. Yep. So as the smoke clears, you see this sort of vast, glistening quicksilver pool sort of spread out across the Baker Farm's front yard. A couple of these large nuts and bolts just sort of floating listlessly in it. One of which seems to have that telltale diegetic swirly in front of it. The Melmetal is fainted.
The ninja bug is not?
You don't see the ninja bug.
My God, we vaporized it. Is the figure, because I think the first thing, if I can't see the bug Pokemon and the steel type has melted into a pool of metal, the first thing that Julian is going to do is try to run out the door. Why are you rolling?
Don't do the rolling. No.
Why are you rolling?
It's not nice. Why? No.
As you are scanning the horizon for trying to locate this trainer and or the Excelgor, coming in from behind is Excelgor into Yaki with a struggle bug for 2 wounds.
You son of a bitch. Great. Okay, well, both my Pokemon have fainted.
And for Zeddy's still out.
Yeah, but I mean, Chance is still out too, but Chance is only good at one thing, and that's blowing himself up. So,
well, hey, the Melmetal is gone. So
yeah, well, that's good. That's great. That's good. I want to know how this thing took 4 wounds.
Take the Melmetal off the thing, and we can do this.
Yes, I will take the Melmetal.
We got it. We got this.
Someone should really do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, just the bug.
All right. Well, generally at this point, both Aster and Ling can attempt to act.
Okay. Aster is going to. God, all of Aster stuff I don't think is great against a bug either. Oh, actually, is grass? No, yeah, it's resisted.
It's like he picks types we're weak against. Have you noticed that?
Mhm.
Hey, you're mostly like you. I know. I guess Psychic is technically resisted by steel. That wasn't actually what I was thinking of, but I suppose it did work out in my favor in that case.
But it is not resisted by bug, which I did not know that. So Aster's gonna try and do his in headbutt on the little ninja bug.
Now, little ninga bud. All right, go for it.
Nope.
Alas,
And
no.
Lingling is going to try and patch up Aster.
Okay.
As Aster completely whiffs on catching the little dodgy bug.
Yeah, Master makes a valiant attempt, shooting off to trying to get vengeance for Yaki, but the Excelgor is gone before Aster has even completed the arc of its attack.
And Lingling is trying to shoot a heal pulse to heal Aster, but Aster's too busy like trying to dodge around and catch this little ninja bug that Lingling keeps missing as well. So
yeah,
this collective whiff.
Rolling
All
for
right,
initiative again.
Yep.
Better. Ooh,
Much better.
good. Roll again.
Got momentum.
All right, so you aced on your tactics roll. So what's the total amount you got?
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it and rip
Yeah,
it,
well,
baby.
did you roll again?
We got
that was our die.
we got another
Dude,
donation
crack one
from
for the
Forest
big
Site.
boy.
Thank you so
Oh, that
much.
was my die?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that was yours.
Yeah, no.
Thank you so much.
I got a 6.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's
Okay,
mine.
got a 15 total for Estelle.
Thank you all for helping out.
Yes,
I'm
thank
gonna
you
read
all
these.
so much
Real
for
talk.
helping out,
Billy
raising
can't
money for a fantastic cause, and I suppose incidentally also helping these guys out. So
Also helping Billy, so it does. No, we can't.
I should hold you guys hostage more often.
No, no, not okay. Not okay. Not okay. Okay. So all of your Pokemon are down, Will?
No, I still have Frazetti and Baltoy up.
Okay, and Susan's still in. Do. I don't like the 10. Why do you keep rolling that?
Well, this is actually Susan.
No? Oh, okay, then that's fine.
That's fine. Susan can roll 10s.
It's in our favor. It's in our favor this one time. Wish I could hear the music. Is it good, chat?
Come on, all right, Jesus, okay,
Oh, nice. Okay.
right.
Was that for
Well,
us too?
Sarge attempts to take advantage of the distraction, the Selgor's distraction. It seems like he's got him dead to rights. Leaps at him, diving down out of the air, just like a bird about to pull like a grub from the ground. But once again, the Excelgor is gone in a blink, right before he impacts the ground. Though Estelle is up next. Actually, you're actually all going for the trainer this round. The trainer is actually the enemy trainer is actually going last this round.
So whose turn is it?
My turn? Yes? No?
Yeah, it's Estelle's turn.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna do roll that with Dark Pulse with Haunter first this time. And yep. On one of those.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank God. That's 11, 13 to hit.
Okay, that will hit, and that will also crit.
Excellent. Extra damage, please. And then we're going to do a nice little struggle bug, because unfortunately I don't have any. Dottler doesn't really have anything. This thing is not strong against, but it's what we got. We're going to do it. 6.
That will hit. Tell me how it looks.
So, Haunter, as this thing reappears, Haunter, who also had kind of gone incorporeal, also reappears and immediately does Dark Pulse, but in its face. Like, they're very close. Like, it reappeared, and then all of a sudden, Haunter was, like, right here in its face. And he says, Haunter. And then Dark Pulse is right in the face. And then, as it's reeling from that, in comes some nice struggle bugging, which I don't know if it will do anything. And on the follow-up, provided that this thing is still
actually,
up.
I will actually interject there, as Dottler, then exploiting this opportunity provided by Haunter, begins struggling with the Excelgor and almost sort of, even though it's not using Future Sight, you get the sense it's almost leveraging its premonitional ability to predict where the Excelgor is going to dive next. And for a moment, it's just two bugs struggling. Just two good bugs doing a struggle.
Struggle is real.
Struggle is real. Unfortunately, smashing several more holes in the drywall of the Baker residence. But finally, at last, crashing down through the ceiling, bringing piles of insulation and a box of knickknacks that just shatters and spills all over the floor. Dottler is on top of the prone and fainted Excelgor, just sort of waving his little antenna in triumph.
Eventually, I'm gonna have to.
Mr. Mime kind of slides in from the side in a referee uniform and just starts counting them out.
Yeah, exactly. Unless there is a nice little. Unless there is a nice little trainer that Mr. Mime could go after.
I was going to say, the second that the battle looks like it's over, Julian is through the hole in the wall and is going to try to tackle that guy who's out there in the darkness.
Okay. So he is no longer where you saw him. You get the sense that he actually had the Excelgor buy him time to escape. Now, you think you do see him out on the edge of the field, but he is booking it. So you would, if you want to try and run him down, you can. You need to make a fitness roll.
What do I need to roll to run him down in my truck?
I am going to say, give me a fitness roll +2 for super effective truck.
Cool.
Well,
I was going to say, what's the range? What's the range on confusion or sleep?
I mean, that's a fair question. I'm pretty good at fitness.
Do it.
Let's see.
Get him. Man.
Do the thing.
Excuse the yawning. My caffeine all ran out about like an hour ago. I don't know how I'm alive.
It's exactly a 4. Well, actually, it's a 6 because I had a bonus.
Yeah.
So you you're driving a straight line after him.
I'm not gonna run him over, but what I am gonna do is like drive, I guess, in front of him and then just jerk the wheel, kind of like drift the truck to a stop, and then Julian is like out the door and is fully gonna just tackle this guy to the ground, just wrestle him to the ground.
Okay, yeah, that is exactly what happens. You spin the truck around. He runs smack into the bed of your truck, is jostled for a second, starts to try to parkour over it, and runs across the bed of your truck, trips slightly coming down, and so doesn't quite stick the landing, and that gives you just enough time piling out of the back of your truck to just dive tackle him, and the two of you are in a heap on the ground.
Yes, I would restrain him, or if I can, I would restrain him. If I can't, I'm just gonna punch him a lot.
He does not wish to be restrained. So you might have to do a little bit of the latter thing.
That's fine.
But
can Mr. Mime help?
yes. So yeah, you struggle with him a minute, and then Mr. Mime shows up, and you see both Mr. Mime like both of his arms are sort of like telekinetically pulled up by Mr. Mime, and you are then able to in turn grab him by the legs, and you have him yeah, and you, Mr. Mime, do a little fist bump.
Yeah.
An unsettling little fist bump.
Before the grab, I imagined Mr. Mime just joining in on the beatdown, and I had the mental image of Mr. Mime holding an invisible chair. Like, oh, and Mr. Mime comes in with the chair!
Mr. Mime coming in with the folding chair!
I was actually picturing Mr. Mime just like appearing out of nowhere in the peripheral vision, and it's like, go ahead, run away from Julian. Then you deal with Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mime's just like, nah, go on. I like giving him a head start.
Yeah.
Like,
Mr. Mime definitely has the vibes of something that pops up in your rearview mirror, like constantly.
like the reason you don't look in your backseat through the rearview mirror when you're in your car alone at night. Yeah, that's Mr. Mime.
I would be terrified to find a Mr. Mime in my backseat.
100% yes.
I found this great sticker that goes on the inside of your car, and it's just Mr. Mime like peeking up from like the back seat of your car, doing the creepiest eyes. And Andy was like, "They know you're Mr. Mime. Like they know him." Yeah.
Google's plush Mr. Mime to start prank putting in people's cars.
Can we also just agree that struggle buggin is the best descriptor of life?
Yeah, they're everybody sat here struggle bugging.
Yeah,
it's true.
You know,
I know I am. Can I get a look at this gentleman?
Yeah.
Hey, so it's just the doctor. What was the red light from?
The red light is actually just like a little LED on it looks like sort of a headset that he has.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna like grab him like by the collar and basically just, what are you doing here?
I don't tell you shit, man.
Julian's gonna look over at Mr. Mime and say, "You want to put some money on that?"
Look, I don't gotta tell you shit, man. Just call the Jennies, do what you gotta do. I don't gotta tell you shit.
That's funny. Yeah, we're not gonna call the Jennies. In case you missed it, there aren't any Jennies. And in case you missed it, there's nobody except for you and me and that Mr. Mime over there, who has a lot of residual trauma from being in cage matches for most of his life.
Where is the Jinx too? They were with us for a while.
I think didn't you take the Jinx, or
I thought we tried to bring them up to the mountains, but then my sister wasn't there.
Yeah, you kept Jinx, so you should have Jinx too.
Jinx.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna make Jinx face their abuser. I'm gonna abuse this person.
Yeah, no, that's extremely fair.
What? Oh God, there's so many more. Tell
you what. We're gonna fade out on this particular tableau.
Yeah, that's
for thinking we psychic their brain, but I mean, like that's
I think the implication is that we're gonna do a bunch of terrible shit, but it's not gonna be on screen.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna fade this tableau of the restrained trainer who will not give his name. Sort of it's hard to place his age exactly. You guess him maybe on like the younger side of middle aged. Wearing sort of a set of scrub tops and looks sort of like kind of like military style pants, and sort of restrained, sort of sat up against the wheel well of the truck, with the rest of the group sort of starting to close in on you guys, and in particular, Julian and Mr. Mime just sort of hanging out here. Mr. Mime kind of cracking his knuckles.
Flaming knuckles.
Yep. And we're gonna fade out on that tableau, and we're gonna take a little 10-minute break, and we're gonna see what Billy's up to. We're gonna see what's going on in Billy's life.
I'm sure Billy's fine. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go away.
Andy gets into these things, and then I get very into them, and then they end up as my hobbies. Chad.
Our hobbies, comrade.
Yeah.
Our hobbies. In which I got you all these things to do the hobby, and now I'm doing the hobby.
Moral of the story is minis are a scourge, and no one should get into them as a hobby.
Yeah,
but it's too late for me.
It's too late for me, so everyone else
it's too late for me. Save yourselves.
Too late for me. Most of the things in that case are things I painted. Like, we're not going to talk about the wall downstairs that's just terrain crafting now. It's just bookshelves full of terrain craft. Hi! Why are we barking?
Yeah, I went out to go get some more water, and both of my cats were like, "Is time for food? What if it was time for food? What if it was time for food?" Father,
my dogs know within
Father.
like a half an hour to a 15-minute window before it is food time.
Was it time for food?
Gradually trending.
They decided it was time for food. Yes.
Was it actually time for food? Did you double feed?
No, I did not double feed them. It was close. It was close enough. It was close enough to it being time for food that I did not feel like listening to. You would have otherwise seen me just constantly doing this for the rest of the stream, like listening to the mayhem that they were causing in the living room in protest.
The thing I love about cats is that they will have like a mostly full bowl of food, and then they'll be like, but there's this corner that is not full of food, so obviously I am going to die.
I am going to die, Father.
Why do you hate me?
Why
Why
must you stand there and witness my privation?
Is this funny to you? Like, just... Oh, God, love cats.
Yep.
I can't get them because I am allergic, but I like them. So I go to friends' houses and I pet them, and then I come home with very puffy eyes.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. And yes, Foresight, when it comes to cats, it is always time for food. For food.
It is known.
But what it is time for, in this case, is to catch up on Mr. Billy Baker, who has gone through the teleporter with his Gallade and his new Honoguma that sort of just bummed a ride.
Also, shout out to the fans that we were like, Billy's on his own, and then 5 luck points for you. Just
100%.
appear.
Coming in clutch.
Gotta save the boy.
Your vision clears as the picture sort of coalesces. You have this feeling almost like you've been daydreaming, and you've only just like come back to yourself. You're not sure how long you've been standing in that same spot. You're on a street in Esper Bay. You think it looks almost like the street how you remember it when you were a kid. The shapes of buildings that aren't there anymore. It's hard to see very far away. Everything is sort of shrouded in this heavy, you want to call it mist or fog, but it almost has this quality like the static of a television tuned to a dead channel. You are, as far as you can tell, alone.
Do I have my? Do I have still my Pokemon though with me? Right?
Yes,
Okay.
you and your Pokemon are alone.
Well, Shiloh, I guess we made it. Wherever here is, Master, Ling Ling. Guess they didn't make it through. Just you and me, I suppose. And I think Billy feels like a scratching on his back and like a burst of heat. And then like in the chaos of the teleportation, I think Tum Tum had like scrambled down into his shirt.
Yep.
And like comes scrambling like out of it. Oh, hey bud. Guess you tagged along too. Well, guess it's just the three of us then.
Hanaguma. I've decided after the last time I've just decided that it's canon that Hanaguma just has this really incongruously deep voice.
Exact opposite of Pikachu.
I love that because it's the voice I kind of imagine for like the chubby Pikachu that we don't get anymore.
Yeah.
Well, let's go see if anybody's around, y'all. And just gonna start walking down the street.
The fog sort of gradually recedes as you walk further into it, but sort of follows up behind you, almost like you're in the eye of a quiet hurricane. You pass clusters of street signs and signs over the businesses on the boardwalk, but none of them say anything. They're all blank. It's like a ghost town, or like the model of a town that will be.
Well, it looks like home, but I don't think it is. Definitely something strange going on. I want to try and do maybe like feel out with my aura to see if I feel any other like living things here other than the three of us.
Sure, go for it.
Can actually no, he doesn't really have a move to complement that anymore. Never mind. Just gonna do me. Seven.
Okay. You reach out with your mind, trying to use your empathic senses to sense an emotion somewhere, another living being. And it's faint, but it pops out at you just because of how sterile everything here feels. That it's like a tiny spark, but it's bright against the darkness. And you start moving towards it, slowly at first, then faster. Or maybe you're going faster. Or maybe you're still just walking and the street is just zipping by you, compressing the distance between you and your objective. Will's face.
Bad. It's a bad thing.
this spark is joined by others. Almost a growing Christmas tree of consciousness, of emotion, of humanity. It burgeons the closer you get, forming this almost kind of Milky Way constellation. Like you're heading towards a massive crowd. But you're not sure why they're so faint. And finally, you get there. You're at a street, main drag through Esper Bay. Except that in between these kind of faceless buildings, the black asphalt flows like a river, gently ambling down between the banks of the sidewalk, flowing from an unknown origin point out to sea, maybe. You don't hear any surf like you would in Esper Bay. And floating in this black river are bodies. People. Some are face up, others not. They're just floating there, being gently carried along by the current.
But that faint sense of life is coming from them?
Indeed.
Can I reach any of them while standing on the sidewalk?
It would be challenging, but potentially possible. I would ask you to make a fitness roll.
Yeah, I'm going to try and reach out to, like, pull one of them in, so that is also a D8. 4 on the dot.
Okay.
If you steal a car, you can get a +2 to that.
You are able to reach out and grasp one of them, and your hand is briefly submerged in this sort of thick, oily, liquid asphalt. Seems almost like sand, but it carries you along with a current, like water, and you drag them out of this cold surf and up onto the sidewalk. Strangely, none of it seems to come with them. They're not wet at all. Once you pull them out of it, they're dry as a bone, like everything here. In fact, it's so dry, there's almost this sort of prickle of static on your skin. Your eyes and your lips feel parched. It's like being in a warehouse with the lights all turned up too high. And you think you recognize this person. You don't know them well, but you think they're a server at the Oricoko Cafe.
And what does the person look like?
They're a young woman.
I don't recognize them now.
You know their face. You've seen them before. Like, you know their face. You think they're a server at the Oricoko Cafe, but you don't know their name. Okay. As you have them there on the sidewalk. They're unresponsive at first. They're alive, but just sort of kind of staring listlessly at you. But almost like your presence warms them. You see that sort of spark of empathy, of personality, of life stoke and glow brighter. And you see recognition sort of blossom behind their eyes. And they begin to look at you with a certain sense of recognition. Not that they, not in the sense of they know who you are, but in the sense of, they recognize you as another person.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
My name's Billy. Billy Baker. I'm the gym leader. My family lives on Baker Farm. You work at the cafe, right? I think I've seen you there.
Yeah. The cafe. That's a place.
Whatever all this is, it seems to affect memory. It might take you a little bit to get back to normal, but the fact that you're awake seems to be a good sign.
Yeah. The cafe is a place.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a place?
This is kind of an in-between. A whole lot of people went missing. I came to find y'all, and it looks like I did. You think you can help me get some of the others out?
I'll try. It's not a... So this isn't a place?
I mean, it's somewhere, but it's not a place like the cafe's a place. It's something else.
That doesn't really make any sense.
I mean, none of this really makes any sense. So, I get it, but I mean, if you want, okay. So, there are these things, like the Pokeball took Pokemon and turned them into these weird things that you can't quite look at, but you feel their presence, and then they start disappearing people, and then Silphco's involved, and I feel like he just starts rambling of okay,
Yeah.
fine, you want the full explanation, I will give you that, but
I have questions.
I
First,
would expect so.
what's a Pokemon?
Oh. Well, this is one. So is this. Say hi.
Oh.
This is Tum Tum, and that's Shiloh.
I guess that makes sense. But you're not a Pokemon.
No, I'm a human, just like you.
Okay.
Is this a Digimon fan? Finally a person of taste in this game?
This does have Dark Ocean vibes.
It sure does.
Mm. All right. Are there other people?
Yeah, I mean, looks to be a lot of them flowing in the same thing I just pulled you out of. And where we come from, there's a whole bunch of them, and everyone's gone missing. I imagine they must have been brought here.
Right. You said you wanted help?
I mean, getting you out of that got you to wake up, so the more people we get out, the more people we wake up, seems like.
All right. Sure. just drag him out.
Yeah, maybe we can find like a stick, something longer, and we can like kind of start trying to work together to like pull them out. But I feel like they're better off out of whatever that is.
Sure. All right, go and give me a fitness roll.
That is an actual one, unfortunately.
You go to start grabbing out another person. And as you do so, if you think you're starting to drag them out, but then you hit a snag or an eddy or something under the surface of the water that suddenly starts to pull them back in, and you with them. And just as you are about to teeter over and plunge head first into this black river, you hear a voice behind you say, "Whoa, hey, no, don't want that to happen. You do not want to take a plunge in that, Billy." And this hand is grabbing the back of your shirt and sort of dragging you back onto shore. And you are face to face with a young man in a lab coat with glasses.
Oh, thank you for the help. Do I know you?
Right. Shoot. Yes. And maybe we can fix that. Probably, maybe. The fact that you're here and you're lucid feels like a step in the right direction. Though I've been wrong before. Hey, I'm sorry. And he extends a hand. Nice to meet you again. Sorry, I'm Charlie Geller.
Oh,
We're friends.
yeah. Julian talked about you. He said you existed, but then you didn't exist. It was a whole thing. So, yeah, nice to re-meet you, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm mildly concerned about the fact that you're here.
Oh, well, that was intentional. It's okay.
Intentional. Okay. You hooked up with Maple, didn't you?
Oh, well, yeah. We need to come find everybody, and he made a teleporter, and we had like a little bit of a scuffle, and then
Julian tried to shove ahead and make the noble sacrifice, didn't he?
kind of everybody did. But yeah, he did try that first. And then Estelle. But then I used like teleport. Which helped, but also didn't get on my Pokemon, which was not maybe the best call.
He's gonna be mad when you get back.
I mean, probably, but that's like future problems.
Yeah, no, I know how that goes. Okay, well, 2 heads are better than 1, at least. Intentionally here, all right, but went with Maple's plan. I don't know how sound that plan was. I tried to talk Maple out of it a couple of times, but obviously doesn't remember after I leave the room. Kind of frustrating that. Julian remembered, though. That's good. And this isn't the worst outcome, I guess. I think you're probably the closest thing that I've had to a conversation partner in a while.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they can talk too. Have you tried pulling anyone else out of the river?
A few. I've gotten a few out. it comes back slowly. More slowly for them for some reason. I think it's because I have been able to find a way out for short periods of time.
Mhm.
Every time that I go out, it kind of anchors me. I think it's disorienting when I get back, but I don't lose everything. Of course, it also means I have to find the way back every time again. Sorry, I'm rambling. So you came here for a reason, I'm assuming. What's the plan, Billy?
Plan.
You didn't come up with a plan before you dove into the teleporter, did you?
Well, the plan was to get here, and I got here. So in a way, mission accomplished. Now we need the now that I'm here plan. But you've been here, so you probably might have some sort of plan that I could help you with.
Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting.
I mean, if you wanted the idea person, I maybe wasn't the right person to end up here.
No,
but
no,
I'm who you got.
I'm sorry. I'm being you're one of the first sentient people that I've spoken to in months, and I'm being rude. I'm sorry. It's just been a rough few years. Years? Could have been years. I'm not sure. I tried doing tally marks, but they keep disappearing. Yeah. But all right, plan. Okay, you're here. We can start. So fishing people out sounds like a solid plan. We need to figure out something to do with them once we have them all out.
How do you get out? Can we get them out the same way? You keep getting pulled back though.
That's
that
the problem.
Really solve the problem.
Is that there's a weak point.
Mm-hmm.
There's a weak point between this place and our reality. And I've been able to use that to get back. Problem is that somebody who's been devoured, I guess you could call it, who ends up here is, like I told Julian, when we go back, it's like giving him indigestion. They know. And they come for you. They want to swallow you back down in their gullet again. But we might be able to use that. You got a couple of Pokemon with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got two.
All right. Might be something there. Most Pokemon don't seem to appear here for some reason. I think it might have something to do with the fact that this place is somehow connected to, I guess, according to Maple's theory, wherever it is that Pokemon came from originally. And so whenever they're here, they're not really Pokemon anymore. They're whatever they were before they showed up on our world. But you've got Pokemon, and that's more Pokemon than I've got, that might give us something. If we can get enough people out, if we can get them where the weak point is, get enough of them shuffled up in there around the weak point, if we can collapse the waveform, when the bubble bursts, hopefully, we're all at the point where our worlds meet, and everybody is going to get pushed back out the other side into our world. And with the waveform collapsed, I don't think any more of the missing numbers will be able to get out. assuming that Silphco stops fucking around with those fucking champion balls.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can deal with that. I'm pretty sure Estelle does have a plan for that one. So, yeah. I mean, that seems like a better plan than I had, which was not one. So, let's try that.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's start with the easy part, and let's see if we can get everybody out and see how many we can herd into the spot where things are fuzzy.
Sounds good.
And with Charlie's help and the woman's help that you fished out, and Charlie goes and returns with a few more people, some of whom you recognize from around Esper Bay. Some of them you even recognize as Silphco employees. There's even a couple of rocket grunts in there who start helping you fish people out of the stream. It's a slow process, but keeping at it diligently, gradually, you thin out this sort of lazy river of floating people. You miss some, they continue floating down the river, but it seems like they always end up coming back again. You're not sure if it goes in a circle or if you just go far enough down this sidewalk, you'll eventually find yourself walking back the direction you came. And eventually you have a sizable crowd of people. You're not sure how long you've been doing this. Like, doesn't seem to be like a good sense of time here. It's always just kind of the same midday haze. You're thirsty all the time. Everything is too hot, too dry. But despite being thirsty, you never seem to get parched. You're never thirsty to the point that you desperately need water. You're just constantly a little uncomfortable.
Well, I think we got enough people. This place isn't exactly comfortable, so maybe we can hurry on to wherever we need to take them.
I'm going to see if I can lead them, well, best I can, herd everybody up the hill towards the old safari building. That is, for some reason, where the barrier is weakest. I don't know. If I get a chance to talk to Kaz at some point, maybe he'll have some insight on it. He's around here somewhere, I feel like. No, he's in the crowd. I have no idea where he's at.
Oh. Yeah, he got captured. That's interesting. So that worked the same way. Huh. Well, it'll be good to get him back to his Pokemon. He's got somebody worried about him.
I'll get them up there, see if I can fit them all in the building. If you need to find us after you've hopefully collapsed the waveform, listen for a PA system. It's always going. And if you listen hard enough, like Billy, if you kind of like think about it, you realize you have sort of almost heard sort of a very faint, quiet, garbled voice kind of in the background ever since you've been here. Just kind of assumed it was part of this, the weirdness of this place.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I can find that. Yeah, you take care of them, and I'll go deal with closing that thing down.
So you just follow the PA system and you should find us. And the rest is probably going to be on you. The waveform is, I think, being held together by the one constant observer of both of these places. Person who is seeing it and our world at the same time. That is giving it all constant substance. I think you've run into them before. The trainer.
Oh. They're responsible for all this?
I don't think they're responsible, but they're definitely making it worse.
Huh. I mean, they're kind of strange, but didn't realize they were that big of a problem, but okay. Yeah, I can go find them. I think I'm just gonna start heading off in the direction. He gave me directions to like the finding the waveform, right?
Yeah. He says if you can beat the trainer, collapse the waveform, then I think that is our way out of here. And they're well, I think you'll know where to find them.
Yeah, we did never finish our gym battle. I'm headed to the gym. That's where I think they're gonna be.
Yep. Walking through this glitched city, you see climbing kudzu-like up several of the buildings, these sort of gnarled, almost organic electrical cables, sometimes sprouting out these copper branches covered in leaves like broken glass. And they get thicker and thicker closer you get to one particular location. And your gut instinct is spot on, because they're all clustering around the Esper Bay gym. And walking in the front doors, passing sort of blank signs and posters and cracked concrete. It's been overgrown with these thick wires and vines. Walking up the stairs to the main arena of the gym, you see, almost like they're waiting for you, on the opposite side, this small young man in a blue hoodie, yellow galoshes, and a red hat slung low, concealing his eyes. And when you show up, he just smiles. And that's where we're going to end this session. Oh, goodness.
This was always your destiny, Billy. As the gym leader, it was always your destiny.
Well, thank you, everybody, so much for joining us this evening. Sorry to leave you on that cliffhanger. Yes, thank you. I have a whole bunch of notes in front of me of weird stuff that I brainstormed today. It's like, if I were to try and visualize what the Gen 1 glitch city would look like for a person walking around in it, does this sound right? Sure. Yeah, this sounds pretty cool. So hopefully some folks will come back next week for the thrilling conclusion of that particular cliffhanger, and possibly resolving one of the main arcs of the Missing Numbers series here. If you joined us tonight, if you watched, if you donated especially, thank you so much for the donations. If you chatted, followed, subscribed, whatever, we want you to know that it genuinely means the world to us. Everything that we do on the channel benefits a really great cause, and we would not be able to make any of that happen without you. So thank you so much. We are going to be back tomorrow, yes, with Elbow?
We will be back tomorrow.
Yes,
yeah,
we will be back
at 8 p.m.
tomorrow at 8 p.m. with a different game, our Wildcard Wednesday game, the Eldritch Lady Badasses of Wrestling, a Call of Cthulhu game following a professional wrestling promotion in the 1980s. First episode was fantastic. And you should really join us for the sequel. I have a feeling it's only going to get more unhinged from here. I believe, Will, you're in that game. Yes, you're playing a hot dad.
I am. I'm playing a hot dad.
Excellent.
Did
Love
we
to
have
see
those in the 80s? I feel like that's
second.
that's a weird historical rewrite.
I dressed up as a character, and it's basically just this.
Instant death. Yep.
That's all it takes.
That's fair.
And then we are also going to be Madigan's this Sunday?
Madigan's this Sunday, yes.
Yes, Madigan's this Sunday. Will, do you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, please show up on Sunday night. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Madigans is a story about an estranged group of siblings who have been brought together by the untimely death of their wizard father. We've got vampires, we've got wizards, we've got Norse gods in the mix, and Fey lords. And we left on a big cliffhanger last time. The VOD is up still, should be available until Sunday, and it'll be up on YouTube after that. But yeah, if you want to check it out and then join us for our story, they're just about to hear their father's last will and testament.
Spicy.
That first session was real fun, so definitely worth a watch.
It was a blast. Yes, and if you want to see more of Liz, check out the Madigans.
And then we will be back in 2 weeks' time for the thrilling conclusion, Billy's climactic fight with this weird, creepy glitch trainer that has been following them around for like half this game. And if you would like to know when we are going live, you can follow us on Twitter at Live from the APOC. Cursed Bird app should be up there on screen. You can also join our Discord community, which is full of a lot of awesome and friendly people, and is generally just a great place, though maybe I'm biased. We do community nights on there where we play games together off stream and also watch bad movies. Really, it's just a nice group of people overall.
Do we know what the community night for April is yet, or have we not?
Those have been a little bit on hiatus. That was kind of Andy's thing.
Yeah, Andy has been.
If anybody had taken it over, but yeah,
no.
Consensus is kind of everybody's too busy, so they've just been on hold.
So maybe there will be a community night. We will try to see if we can put one together. And where was I at? Yes, if you would like to get to know us better, we would genuinely love to have you. But I think at long last, that is enough talking from me, especially with all of those ponderous descriptions of Glitch City. So we are going to be going away in just a second, but do not go away because we're going to be rating one of the many other great TTRPG creators here on Twitch. So please be friendly, say hi, and tell them that Live from the Apocalypse sent you.
All right, we're going to be hopping over to say hi to our friends at Manapot Studios who are playing Wanderhome. So just dropped my phone everywhere. There are 2 red messages in the chat. If you want to, you can copy. If you are subscribed, you can copy paste the first one. If you are not, you can grab the second one with the raccoons. So hop over and do everything that Brendan said already. But for us here Live from the Apocalypse, we're going to say goodnight. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night,
everybody.